Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today, we're going on an epic journey, a billion-year saga that completely transformed our planet. It's a story of survival, innovation, and conquest. This is the story of how plants took over the world. Imagine Earth, over a billion years ago, is a barren, rocky wasteland. The continents are lifeless, baked by harsh ultraviolet radiation. The air is thin, and the only life to be found is microscopic, hiding in the oceans. It's a scene from another world. But deep within those primordial waters, something incredible was happening. Tiny cyanobacteria, a type of algae, figured out a revolutionary trick: photosynthesis. They learned to harness the power of the sun, using sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide to create energy. And as a byproduct, they released something that would change everything: oxygen. Over hundreds of millions of years, these tiny organisms pumped oxygen into the atmosphere, creating the very air we breathe today and setting the stage for more complex life. Around 500 million years ago, a descendant of these algae, a type of green algae living in shallow coastal waters, faced a challenge. The tides would go out, leaving them exposed on mudflats. It was a hostile environment, but it was also an opportunity. The land was an untapped frontier, bathed in unfiltered sunlight and rich in mineral nutrients. The race to conquer the land was on. The first pioneers were probably simple, carpet-like plants, similar to modern liverworts or mosses. They didn't have roots or leaves like plants today. They had to stay close to water, hugging the damp ground to avoid drying out. To protect themselves from the sun's harsh UV rays, they developed natural sunscreen special chemical compounds. And to reproduce without water, they developed tough, resilient spores that could be carried by the wind, spreading life across the barren rock. These tiny humble plants were the first conquerors of the land. But to truly conquer the land, plants needed to solve a few major problems: how to stand up against gravity, and how to get water from the ground up to their tops. The solution was a game changer: the vascular system. About 420 million years ago, plants evolved specialized tissues. Xylem, a system of rigid tubes, acted like a scaffold, allowing plants to grow tall and strong. It also functioned as a plumbing system, pulling water up from the ground. Phloem, another set of tubes, distributed the sugars made during photosynthesis throughout the plant. This innovation was revolutionary. Plants could now grow upright, competing for sunlight and rising above their neighbors. This led to the first forests. Imagine a landscape filled with strange ancient plants like Cooksonia, which look like simple branching green sticks with spore capsules on top. They weren't towering trees yet, but they were the beginning of a vertical world. With the ability to grow tall, the next logical step was to capture more sunlight. This led to the evolution of leaves. At first, they were probably just small flaps of tissue, but over millions of years, they broadened into the wide, flat solar panels we see today. Leaves dramatically increased the efficiency of photosynthesis, allowing plants to produce more energy and grow even bigger. To anchor these increasingly large structures and absorb water and nutrients more effectively, plants developed another critical innovation: roots. Roots delved deep into the soil, creating a secure foundation and a pipeline for essential resources. The partnership between roots, stems, and leaves created the blueprint for the modern plant, a highly efficient organism perfectly adapted for life on land. Now, plants were spreading rapidly, but they still relied on spores for reproduction, which was a bit of a gamble. The next great leap was the invention of the seed. About 360 million years ago, some plants developed a way to package a tiny embryo along with a food supply inside a protective coat. This was the seed. Seeds were a biological masterpiece. They could wait for years dormant, until conditions were just right for germination. They could be transported over vast distances by wind, water, or animals. This allowed plants to colonize even drier, more challenging environments, far from the water sources their ancestors depended on. The age of seed plants, like conifers and cycads, had begun, and they quickly came to dominate the globe, forming the vast forests of the dinosaur era. For millions of years, the world was green. But something was missing: color. Then, around 125 million years ago, another spectacular innovation appeared: the flower. This wasn't just about looking pretty. Flowers are sophisticated reproductive structures designed for one purpose: to enlist the help of animals. Instead of just relying on the wind, flowering plants evolved vibrant colors, enticing scents, and sugary nectar to attract insects, birds, and other animals. These creatures would travel from flower to flower, unwittingly carrying pollen with them, creating a highly efficient and targeted pollination service. This partnership was a massive success. Flowering plants, or angiosperms, exploded in diversity, rapidly outcompeting the older seed plants. They evolved another trick too: fruit. By encasing their seeds in a tasty, nutritious package, they convinced animals to eat their fruit and dispersed their seeds far and wide. Today, flowering plants are the most successful and diverse group of plants on Earth, making up over 90% of all plant species. From the tiniest duckweed to the mightiest oak tree, from the grains that feed us to the flowers in our gardens, they are everywhere. The story of plant evolution is the story of our world. They created the oxygen we breathe, formed the soils, and built the ecosystems that support all other life on land, including us. Every forest, every meadow, every single blade of grass is a living testament to this incredible billion-year journey of survival and innovation. When you look at a plant, you're not just seeing a green thing. You're seeing a conqueror, a survivor, and the architect of our living planet. Thank you so much for watching this epic tale. If you found this journey through time as amazing as I did, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more stories from our incredible world. Let me know in the comments which part of plant history blew your mind the most. Until next time, stay curious,